The wind on planet Naris never stopped. It howled across the white plains like a living thing, sweeping sharp ice crystals against the metal walls of the human research base. The cold was not normal. It was deep and heavy, as if it wanted to crush every bit of warmth that tried to exist. Even the stars above looked dull and weak through the thick clouds. Commander Liam stood on the platform outside the main dome, watching the endless snow. His breath turned to mist instantly, freezing before it even reached the ground. Behind him, the hum of machines kept the base alive, but even they sounded tired. The engineers called it the planet that kills fire, and they were right. Here, no flame could burn for long. Even plasma welders went dark after a few seconds. Heat vanished as if the planet swallowed it. Liam's team had been on Naris for 6 months. They came to study a strange signal detected by long-range satellites, a pulse of energy buried deep beneath the ice. The first scans showed impossible readings, shapes too perfect to be natural, a structure that looked older than any known civilization. The scientists called it the Chamber of Eternal Sleep. Locals from the small mining colony nearby whispered legends about it, a place where time stood still, and where those who entered never returned. But Liam didn't believe in legends. He believed in proof. He believed in the courage of human curiosity. Humanity had crossed the stars, built cities on moons, and tamed entire planets. Naris was just another mystery waiting to be solved. Still, something about this place made him uneasy. Even he could not explain why his hands trembled when he stared too long into the icy distance. Inside the main control room, Mira, the lead scientist, was studying the new data. She was a quiet woman with eyes that missed nothing. Her voice carried calm confidence even when everyone else was tired. When Liam walked in, she didn't look up. She just said, "The readings changed again." "How much?" he asked, brushing frost from his jacket. "Too much. The energy waves are stronger now. It's like something under the ice is waking up." Liam frowned. "Or reacting to our drills." Mira shook her head. "It's not reacting to us, it's waiting." That word hung in the air, waiting. The others in the room went silent. A soft beep came from the screen showing the energy levels. The lines danced in patterns that almost looked like a heartbeat. "Maybe it's a natural phenomenon," one of the young technicians said quickly, trying to sound confident. "Maybe," Mira replied softly, though her face showed she didn't believe that. Liam placed his hand on the table. "We came here to find answers. We're not turning back because of strange readings." He knew they were afraid. The air outside could kill a person in minutes, and the tunnels they had dug were already unstable. But he also knew how important discovery was. If they found proof of alien design, it would change everything: history, science, even humanity's understanding of life itself. That night, the team gathered in the common room, drinking warm synthetic tea that tasted like metal. They tried to relax, telling jokes and sharing stories of Earth, but the laughter felt hollow. The wind outside screamed louder, and sometimes they thought they heard something else in it, faint voices almost human. One worker swore he heard his name whispered through the air duct, though no one was there. The base psychologist said it was stress and cold affecting their minds, but Mira felt different. She felt watched. 2 days later, the drill finally reached the outer layer of the structure. The machine struggled to cut through the strange black ice harder than steel. The temperature dropped even more, causing the tools to freeze. Still, Liam refused to stop. He stood near the tunnel entrance in his thermal suit, giving orders while frost gathered on his helmet. "Push another 10 meters, he shouted. The machine operators obeyed, though fear flickered in their eyes. Then something strange happened. The ground began to hum. Not shake, not crack, hum. A low, deep sound, like the note of a giant instrument buried beneath them. Everyone froze. The drill stopped on its own, even though the power was still on. Lights flickered and a strange pressure filled the air, making their ears ring. Then came the whisper, and soft, stretched through the air like a sigh. "Leave, or sleep." The voice was faint, almost like the wind itself. Mira turned toward Liam, her face pale. "Did you hear that?" Liam didn't answer. He looked down the tunnel, where the black wall of ice now glowed faintly with blue light. The rest of the team backed away, whispering in fear. But Liam stepped closer. "Get the scanner ready," he ordered. Mira tried to stop him. "Commander, that wasn't an echo." "That wasn't, I know what it was," he said firmly. "But we're not leaving." He walked into the tunnel, ignoring the cold that bit through his suit. His breath came out as white mist. The light from his helmet reflected off the icy surface, showing strange carvings, lines and symbols no one could identify. They looked like writing, but not of any language known to humans. Mira followed him reluctantly. These patterns, they looked designed. Someone made this. Liam nodded slowly. Then that means someone was here before us. She shivered, not from the cold, but from what that meant. No known alien civilization had ever been confirmed. If these markings were real, it would be the first proof of non-human intelligence, ancient, powerful, and forgotten. They reached a large, frozen wall. Beneath the ice, something enormous rested, a structure shaped like a gate or door. Its edges were smooth, perfect, and impossible for nature to make. Instruments showed strong magnetic pulses coming from it, but the temperature readings were confusing. The scanners showed both -200 degrees and 30 degrees at the same time. How can it be both frozen and warm? Mira whispered. Liam's eyes shone with excitement. Because it's not made of anything we know. They set up lights and cameras, but after a few minutes every light went out. The power drained completely. Even the backup batteries failed. It was as if the energy had been sucked away. The only light left came from the faint blue glow of the door itself. Mira stared at it. "It's alive," she whispered. Liam turned to her. "What did you say?" She pointed at the glow. "Look, it's what's pulsing, like breathing." He saw it too, the light growing and fading slowly, rhythmically. The realization sent chills through the team. The silence that followed felt heavy, like standing beside something that was dreaming. Back at the base, the engineers couldn't explain the sudden power loss. They checked every line and system, but all equipment that had been near the tunnel was dead. Even the stored energy packs refused to recharge. It was as if the planet itself drained them. Liam called for an emergency meeting. The crew gathered in the briefing room, their faces tired and pale. "We've found the source," he began, showing them the images of the gate. "It's not a rock. It's a door. And behind it, something waits." One of the technicians muttered a prayer under his breath. Another said they should leave before it was too late. Mira stayed silent, watching Liam's face. He looked determined, maybe too determined. "We can't just walk away," he continued. "We came across the stars for this. We are the first humans to stand before something not made by nature. Don't you want to know what's behind it?" The room was silent. Fear and wonder mixed in every heart. After the meeting, Mira found Liam standing alone by the viewing window, looking out at the endless snowstorm. "You're not afraid, are you?" she asked quietly. He smiled faintly. "Of course I am, but I'm more afraid of never knowing." Mira sighed. "Sometimes not knowing keeps us safe." He looked at her, his eyes hard. Humanity didn't come this far by staying safe. Outside, lightning flashed across the frozen sky, a rare event on Naris. For a brief moment, the white plains glowed blue, and in that light, Mira thought she saw something in the distance, a shape. Tall and still, watching from the ice. She blinked, and it was gone. That night, the whispers returned. They came through the wind, faint but clear enough to wake several crew members. They said names. Human names. Mira's name. Liam's name. The sound came from the direction of the tunnel. By morning, the decision was made. Liam ordered preparations to open the chamber. The team didn't argue. Fear and curiosity had become the same thing now, impossible to separate. Far beneath their feet, in the frozen silence of the planet, something old stirred for the first time in centuries. The chamber of eternal sleep was no longer sleeping. The morning after the strange whispers, the research base was filled with quiet tension. No one spoke loudly. Everyone moved as if they were afraid of making noise. Even the hum of the machine sounded softer than usual, as if the planet itself was listening. Commander Liam stood in the operations room, watching the live feed from the tunnel cameras. The strange black wall, the door, glowed faintly with its blue light. It looked almost peaceful, like a sleeping giant under ice, yet something about it made the skin on his neck prickle. He could not stop thinking about the voice that had whispered last night. He had heard it clearly calling his name. Mira entered quietly, holding a datapad close to her chest. "The readings have changed again," she said. "The energy inside the chamber is increasing. Whatever is in there is reacting to us. Liam turned to her. Can we open it? She hesitated. The material is strange. It's not metal, not rock. We still don't know what it is made of, but yes, I think we can open it if we use the plasma drills. He nodded, trying to hide the nervous feeling inside him. Then we'll do it today. Mira frowned. It might not be safe. If this is a containment door, we don't know what's being held inside. Liam met her eyes. We came here to find the truth, Mira. Humanity has always taken risks to understand the universe. This is our chance. She sighed softly, knowing she couldn't stop him. Once Liam decided something, he never turned back. By noon, the entire team gathered near the tunnel. The air was heavy with frost and silence. The engineers had set up the plasma drills and thermal stabilizers. Each worker wore full cold armor, thick suits with life support and face shields to protect them from the killing temperature. The light from the equipment reflected off the icy walls, filling the tunnel with blue-white shine. Liam gave the order. Begin! The drill started, releasing bright arcs of plasma. But just like before, the flames struggled to survive. They flickered, dimmed, and finally went out completely. Even the electric power began to drop. The planet's strange energy was draining everything again. One of the engineers shouted, "We're losing power." "Switch to the internal batteries," Liam ordered. They tried, but even the batteries weakened. Then something unexpected happened. The blue glow from the door grew brighter. It was as if the door itself was feeding on their energy. Mira's voice came through the comms, worried. "Commander, stop the operation. It's absorbing the charge." Liam hesitated. The light grew stronger, covering the tunnel walls. The frost started melting for the first time since they arrived. Water dripped down, freezing again on the floor. The strange hum returned, deeper this time, vibrating through the air and through their bones. Then, without warning, the door moved. It didn't break or crack. It simply shifted, sliding open with a slow, smooth motion. There was no sound of machinery, no grinding, and just silence and movement. A wave of freezing fog spilled out, rolling over their boots and filling the tunnel. Every sensor went wild. The temperature dropped to a level lower than any instrument could read. The fog carried tiny particles of light, glowing softly like stars. Everyone froze in place, staring into the darkness beyond. "Commander." Mira's voice trembled through the headset. "It's open." Liam took a careful step forward. His breath came in slow clouds. "Lights," he said quietly. But when they turned on the floodlights, nothing worked. The lamps flickered, then died again. Only the strange glow from the open doorway remained. He took another step, then another. Mira followed him, her hand shaking slightly as she held her scanner. The rest of the team waited near the entrance, too afraid to move closer. Inside, the chamber was vast, far larger than any of them expected. The walls were covered with shining ice, reflecting faint light that seemed to come from nowhere. In the center of the chamber stood a platform made of dark metal, surrounded by tall, curved pillars. On the platform lay a figure, perfectly still, covered in a layer of silver frost. Mira gasped softly. It's human." Liam's eyes widened. The shape was unmistakable. It was a person, or at least something that looked like one. Tall, lean, with smooth skin that almost shimmered beneath the frost. There was no sign of decay, no sign of death. It looked like someone frozen only minutes ago, not centuries. He stepped closer, brushing away some frost from the figure's arm. The touch sent a sharp chill through his glove, so cold it burned. "He's not dead," Liam whispered. Mira scanned the body, reading the data on her device. No biological activity, but no decomposition either. It's like suspended animation. They both stared at the figure in silence. The face beneath the thin layer of ice looked peaceful, almost serene. Whoever, or whatever in this was, it had been resting for a very long time. Behind them, one of the workers called out, "Commander, the power levels are dropping again." Liam ignored him. His eyes were fixed on the figure. If this person is alive, maybe we can wake him. Mira turned sharply. "No, you can't. We don't know what will happen." He looked at her. "You think he's dangerous?" "I think this entire planet is dangerous," she replied. "Look around, Liam. No fire, no warmth, no power lasts here. What kind of place kills heat itself? And what kind of being survives in it?" Her words hung heavy in the air, but curiosity burned stronger in Liam's heart. He reached out again, placing his hand near the figure's chest. For a brief moment, he thought he felt something. A pulse, faint but real. "Mira," he whispered. "He's alive." The moment his hand touched the chest, the chamber reacted. The pillars around the platform lit up, glowing blue like stars being born. The ground shook slightly and a deep hum filled the air. The figure's eyes opened. Mira gasped. The blue light reflected in those eyes, cold and bright. The figure moved slowly, breaking through the thin ice layer. He sat up, his movements graceful, almost too smooth to be natural. His voice, when he spoke, echoed softly through the chamber. "You brought light where none should shine." The entire team froze. Liam took a small step back, speechless. Mira's scanner started flashing red warnings, unable to process what it was detecting. Liam swallowed hard. Who are you?" The figure tilted his head slightly, studying them. His voice carried calm sadness. "Once I was called Iran, but that name has not been spoken for many ages." Mira's hands trembled. "You're human?" Aaron looked down at his hands. "Once, yes. Long ago, before this world became what it is now." Liam stepped forward again, forgetting his fear. "What is this place? Why are you here?" Aaron's gaze moved to the pillars around the chamber. "This is the heart of Naris, the last refuge of the Flame of Ages. I was its guardian, sworn to protect it until the end of time." "The Flame of Ages?" Mira asked quietly. "You mean fire?" "Not fire," Aaron said slowly, "but life itself. The warmth that gives birth to stars. The power that breathes through all creation. Here it sleeps, sealed away so that it can do no more harm." Liam frowned. "You mean this planet killed fire to protect something?" Aaron's eyes glowed faintly. "To contain it. Naris became its prison, and I became its warden." No one spoke. The sound of their hearts filled the silence. Mira finally whispered, "How long have you been here?" Aaron closed his eyes for a moment. "Too long. I have forgotten the count of years. When I sealed the chamber, your world, Earth, was still young." The shock ran through the team like lightning. They were standing before a being who claimed to have lived for thousands of years. Liam's voice broke the silence. "Why tell us this? Why now?" "Because," Aaron said softly, "you opened the door, and now the balance is broken." Mira felt her stomach twist. "What do you mean?" Aaron looked at her with eyes full of sorrow. "The flame stirs. It was never meant to wake again." Before anyone could speak, the light around them grew stronger. The ice on the walls began to crack and a low rumble shook the chamber. Aaron turned toward the platform, his face tense for the first time. "It begins," he whispered. Liam and Mira exchanged worried looks. Whatever was sealed inside the chamber of eternal sleep, it was not just a relic of the past. It was alive and it was waking up. For a long moment, no one moved. The light that poured from the walls of the chamber glowed brighter, spreading over the frozen ground like a rising dawn. The sound of cracking ice echoed through the tunnels, sharp and deep, like the planet itself was taking a breath after centuries of silence. Commander Liam and Mira stood side by side, their faces pale in the soft blue glow. Around them, the rest of the team whispered nervously through the radio, unsure if they should retreat or record what they were witnessing. Aaron stood tall in the center of the chamber, his silver skin glimmering in the cold light. He seemed calm, but there was a strange sadness in his eyes. "You should not have come here," he said softly. "This place was never meant for the living." Liam took a cautious step forward. "We didn't mean harm," he said. "We came to understand. Humanity has traveled across stars searching for answers. We thought—" "You thought knowledge could be owned," Aaron interrupted quietly. "That is what we once believed too." Mira watched him closely. "You said you were a guardian," she said. "Guardian of what?" Aaron looked toward the glowing pillars surrounding the platform. "The Flame of Ages," he replied. "A power beyond fire, beyond heat. It is the breath of creation, the same energy that births stars and worlds. Once long ago my people tried to use it." Liam frowned. "Your people? Who were they?" "We were the Saren," Aaron said. "We lived long before your kind rose on Earth. We were wanderers among the stars. We built worlds, moved suns, shaped matter with our hands. But our pride became our curse. We believed we could control the flame forever." He paused and placed his hand on one of the glowing pillars. The surface rippled faintly under his touch. "We learned too late that the flame does not belong to anyone. It is alive in its own way. It gives, but it also takes. It grew restless under our command, and when it broke free, it burned worlds to ash." The air inside the chamber grew heavier, as if the memory of those events still lingered. Mira looked around, feeling the chill deepen in her chest. "So your people sealed it here?" Aaron nodded slowly. Yes, we had no choice. Naris was chosen because its core could absorb heat and light. We used all our power to build this chamber, a prison strong enough to hold the flame for eternity. I was the last to enter to ensure the seal remained closed. Liam's expression softened. You sacrificed everything. Aaron's voice lowered. Not just I. An entire civilization fell so that others might live. The flame had already consumed half our empire. Our home star died because of it. But when the chamber closed, the universe grew silent again. The flame slept, and so did I. Silence filled the space again. The only sound was the low hum of energy flowing through the walls. Mira glanced at Liam. Then why is it waking now? We didn't do anything. Aaron turned toward her. You did, he said gently. You brought warmth. Machines, power, light, things this world had forgotten. The flame remembers warmth. It feels it like a heartbeat. You have awakened its hunger. Liam's heart pounded. If this power is real, he said quickly, we can learn from it. We can use it. Humanity needs new energy sources. We can save billions of lives. Aaron studied him silently for a moment. Then he said, You speak with the same hope we once had. But the flame is not a tool, Commander. It is creation itself, pure and endless. No one can master it. Mira stepped closer.
But if it could be controlled, it cannot. Aaron interrupted softly but firmly.
It will burn everything that tries to cage it. Even your machines will fail. Even your world will melt, Liam's voice rose. We've tamed black holes, crossed galaxies, lived through radiation storms. Humanity is not afraid of fire. Aaron's eyes glowed brighter. Then you are not wiser than we were. His words hit Liam like a cold wind. He wanted to argue, to shout that humanity was different, that they could succeed where others had failed. But something in Aaron's calm voice stopped him. Mira looked at the ancient being. If the flame wakes, what will happen? Aaron's expression grew grim. The balance will break. The cold that holds this world will fade. The flame will rise again, seeking what it lost. Warmth, motion, life, but its hunger has no end. It will devour all energy near it. Your machines, your ships, your stars. A sudden tremor ran through the ground. Cracks appeared in the ice along the walls and sparks of light escaped through them. Aaron looked up sharply. It has begun. The scientists outside the tunnel started calling through the radio. Commander, we're detecting power surges all over the planet. Magnetic readings off the scale. Liam replied quickly, stay calm. Monitor the situation. Aaron shook his head. You cannot stop it by watching. You must leave this world. Liam looked at him. Leave? We can't. There's too much to learn. Aaron raised his hand and the air shimmered like a wave of heatless fire. If you stay, you will not live long enough to learn anything. For the first time, fear touched Liam's heart. He had always believed that knowledge was worth any risk. But this was beyond science. It was power that didn't follow the laws of nature, a force that breathed like a living thing. Mira spoke softly. What if we could help you stop it? Maybe there's another way to keep it sealed. Aaron's gaze softened. Perhaps. But sealing it again would require energy equal to what created it. And that energy no longer exists. My kind are gone. The hum grew louder. Ice dust began to fall from the ceiling. Mira's scanner started flashing rapidly. Commander, the radiation levels are rising. This isn't just light, it's feeding on our equipment. Liam turned to Aaron. There must be something we can do. Aaron closed his eyes. There is only one thing the flame understands, sacrifice. Before Liam could ask more, a sudden explosion of light filled the chamber. One of the pillars cracked, sending a beam of blue fire straight into the ceiling. The walls trembled. Everyone stumbled back, covering their eyes. When the light dimmed, a hole had formed above them, and through it the sky of Naris glowed faintly, painted with dancing auroras. The energy was escaping, Mira gasped. It's breaking out! Aaron looked at them with calm sadness. The seal is weak now. The flame stirs in the deep core. You have little time. Liam clenched his fists. Then teach us. Tell us how to stop it. Aaron studied him for a long moment. You remind me of those who first sought the flame. Brave, stubborn, full of hope. He stepped closer, his presence calm yet powerful. If you truly wish to save your people, you must understand what the flame is. He reached out and touched Liam's forehead with his fingers. The moment contact was made, Liam's vision exploded into light. He saw stars being born, billions of them, bursting from white fire in the endless dark. He saw cities of crystal floating in the void, powered by the same light. He saw beings made of energy walking among them. And then he saw it, a wave of burning brightness devouring everything. Suns collapsing, worlds melting, space turning to glowing ash. The vision vanished. Liam gasped, falling to his knees, sweat freezing instantly on his face. Aaron looked down at him. "Now you know." Liam's voice trembled. It's alive." "Yes," Aaron said quietly. "And it remembers hunger." Mira helped Liam stand. "Commander, we need to go. If that thing escapes, we're all finished." But Liam's eyes burned with a strange mix of fear and fascination. "We can't just run. If this energy can create stars, think what it could do for us." Mira grabbed his arm. "It could destroy us." Aaron's expression turned grave. "She is right. I sealed this chamber for a reason. Curiosity is a flame too. Small at first, but it burns until nothing is left." The ground rumbled again, louder this time. Dust and ice fell like snow. Aaron turned toward the open tunnel. "The planet is changing. The flame's pulse has reached the core." Liam steadied himself. "Then we stop it, together." Aaron looked at him, a faint trace of hope flickering in his ancient eyes. "If you truly wish to try, Commander, you will need courage greater than fear, and the will to give what cannot be replaced." "What do you mean?" Liam asked. Aaron said nothing. He simply turned and began walking deeper into the glowing chamber. "Follow me," he said. "I will show you where the flame sleeps." And so, with trembling hearts and frozen breath, the humans followed the ancient guardian into the heart of a world where no fire could live, and yet, where the most dangerous fire in the universe was about to awaken once more. The deeper they moved into the chamber, the colder it became. Liam, Mira, and the team followed Aaron through tunnels carved from ice that glowed faintly blue. The walls were covered with strange symbols, and the floor beneath them vibrated with the steady pulse of energy. Each step seemed to echo through the vast emptiness as if the planet itself was listening. "This place," Mira whispered, shivering. "It's alive. I can feel it." Aaron nodded solemnly. "The chamber feeds on the warmth of life around it. Your presence awakens the flame." Liam kept his eyes on the glowing figure ahead. He could not deny the fear that prickled at his chest, but curiosity burned stronger. "How far to the core?" he asked. "A few hundred meters," Aaron replied. "But each step you take, the flame grows stronger. It will test your courage and your will. Many have failed before you." The team moved forward, hearts pounding. Instruments that should have measured heat, radiation, and magnetic fields went wild. Lights flickered, and every machine hummed in fear. The deeper they went, the more the environment seemed to resist their presence. Even the team's breathing felt heavier, as if the air itself had weight. Suddenly, the chamber trembled. A low rumbling sound filled the tunnels. Dust and frost fell from the ceiling. Liam steadied himself against the wall, staring at the faint cracks of light forming along the icy surfaces. "What is that?" One of the engineers shouted, panic in his voice. "The flame," Aaron said quietly. "It stirs because you are near." A cold wind rushed past them, though no opening existed. Mira's teeth chattered. "Commander, it's like the planet itself is shaking." Liam swallowed hard. "We need to keep moving. We've come this far." The group continued deeper, Aaron leading the way with steady, deliberate steps. He stopped before a wide chamber. In the center, a massive platform of black metal glowed faintly, surrounded by pillars pulsing with blue energy. Beneath the platform, a hole opened into the planet's crust, and a faint, white-hot light radiated upward. Liam could feel it in his bones, the pure energy of the flame, alive and hungry. Aaron placed his hand on one of the pillars. "This is the heart of the flame. Everything here is connected. It is a force beyond understanding, beyond control." Liam looked around, unable to hide the awe in his voice. So all the stories were true. The flame exists. "Yes," Aaron said quietly, "but it is not fire. It is creation itself. It is alive, and it will consume anything in its path if it is not contained." Mira studied the energy readings on her scanner. It's too much. Our instruments can't even handle it." "It's like the planet is alive and the core is its heart." Aaron nodded. "Correct. That is why no flame has ever burned here. The planet suppresses energy to protect the balance. But now, because of your machines, your heat, your curiosity, the balance is breaking." Liam's chest tightened. "Then we need to stabilize it. We need to contain it again." Aaron's eyes glimmered with sadness. You cannot simply turn it off. The flame is not a machine. It responds to life, to warmth, to will, to courage. You must be ready to give everything if you hope to stop it. The team exchanged worried glances. No one understood what he meant. But the ground trembled again, stronger this time. Pillars around the chamber began to crack, glowing brighter. The energy from the core rose like a tidal wave. "Commander," Mira shouted. "It's rising. If we don't leave now, it could destroy the entire base, like maybe the planet." Liam clenched his fists. He knew leaving meant abandoning knowledge that could help humanity. But staying meant facing a force beyond imagination. He turned to Aaron. "Tell us what to do. Tell us how to stop it." Aaron stepped closer, his face calm but grave. "The chamber can only be sealed again if a living force provides energy equal to what created it. That energy comes from a willing heart, one that understands sacrifice." "What kind of sacrifice?" Liam asked quietly, fear threading his voice. "Life," Aaron said. "Someone must stay behind to guide the flame back into its prison. Without this, the energy will consume everything." The weight of his words fell over the group like ice. Mira's hands trembled. "No, there must be another way." Aaron shook his head. "There is none. Every generation before yours failed because they sought another path. The flame cannot be tricked or tamed." Liam's mind raced. He thought of the colonies struggling across space, of dying worlds, of humanity needing this energy. Yet he also thought of his team, Mira, and the danger surrounding them. His chest tightened. "Then we do this together. Somehow we stop it." The chamber trembled again. Cracks formed in the pillars, glowing light spilling into the icy ceiling. The white-hot core beneath the platform pulsed faster, and the air itself seemed to vibrate. Mira grabbed Liam's arm. "It's too much. We need to leave. Now!" Liam shook his head. "No, we can't, not yet. We'll find a way." Suddenly the platform shivered. The figure they had woken, Aaron, placed both hands on the edge. His blue eyes glimmered like stars. "I will help you guide it. But understand this. The flame obeys only the heart of the willing. Without courage, you will be consumed." The rumble grew stronger. Dust and ice fell like snow. Sparks of light ran along the walls, connecting the pillars like veins of power. The team took a step back, frozen in awe and terror. Then the core of the planet pulsed, sending a wave of energy up the platform. Liam felt it in his chest like a living heartbeat. His vision blurred from the intensity, but he did not step back. Mira gasped beside him, clutching her scanner as it flashed red warnings. "It's responding to us," Aaron said quietly. "It senses life. It senses courage. But it also senses fear. Control your hearts, or it will take your life." Liam swallowed. "Then we focus. We have to guide it back." Aaron nodded. "Good, follow me closely." They moved toward the platform. The glowing energy swirled around them, like visible wind. The floor vibrated with every pulse. Liam felt a strange heat in his chest, though the air remained freezing. It was not warmth from fire. It was energy from the flame itself responding to life around it. Mira's voice trembled. "Commander, the readings are off the charts. It's unstable. If we fail, then we must not fail," Liam said, stepping forward. "This is why humanity reaches for the stars, to face the impossible." The team gathered near the platform. Aaron guided their hands to the glowing edge. He whispered instructions, teaching them how to align their own energy with the pulse of the core. Liam focused on his heart, willing it to be calm, to give life without fear. Mira mirrored him, her mind steady despite the chaos around them. The chamber shook violently. Ice fell like rain, and the pillars threatened to collapse. Sparks flew across the walls. The energy core roared like a living beast. And yet through the chaos, a faint order began to form. The pulse slowed, the light steadied, and the vibration softened. For a brief moment, it was as if the chamber was listening, cooperating. Liam realized the flame was not evil. It was just immense, and it needed guidance. But one mistake, one lapse in courage, and it could destroy them all. "Almost there," Aaron said softly. "But remember, only a willing heart can finish this. If you falter, it will consume you." Liam's chest ached. He thought of Earth, of the colonies, of humanity struggling to survive. He understood now what Aaron had meant by sacrifice. One choice could save countless lives, but someone would have to stay behind. The chamber pulsed again. Sparks ran like rivers of light. Ice cracked and melted into water. Liam realized that the decision was near. The flame was awakening fully, and its energy threatened to spill beyond the planet. He glanced at Mira. "There's no time," he whispered. "We have to act now." Aaron's eyes glimmered with approval. "Then you understand. One heart must guide it." Liam took a deep breath. He stepped onto the platform. His team watched in silent fear. The air vibrated with power. Every pulse of the flame seemed to speak, asking for a willing heart to lead it back into the prison. Mira's eyes filled with tears. "Commander, no." He smiled faintly. "I have to. For everyone." Aaron placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then do not fear. The flame will listen. The courage of humanity has not been forgotten." As Liam focused his mind and heart, the chamber pulsed brighter than ever. The pillars hummed, the ice shivered, and the core responded. A sense of balance returned, fragile but real. The awakening had begun, and the first step to saving the planet and perhaps the universe had been taken. The chamber trembled violently. The pillars glowed brighter than ever, and the ground beneath them shook with the heartbeat of the flame. The white-hot energy from the core surged upward, lighting the entire room in a blinding blue-white glow. Liam stood at the center, his heart pounding, every nerve alive with the raw force of creation itself. Mira grabbed his arm. "Commander, it's too strong. Step back." Liam shook his head. "No. This is the only way. If we falter, the flame will destroy everything, the base, the planet, maybe even more." "Maybe." Aaron stepped closer, his silver skin shimmering in the radiant light. "Courage and will are your weapons, Liam. Focus your heart. Align it with the flame. Guide it, or it will guide you to ruin." The team stepped back to give him space. Mira's eyes were wide with fear, but she trusted him. She knew what he was about to do. Liam focused. He drew on everything he had ever learned, every challenge he had faced as a commander, every hope for humanity. He felt the energy of the flame pulsing against him, immense and hungry, but he did not resist it. Instead, he opened his mind and heart to it, willing it to understand, willing it to listen. The core's roar grew louder. Sparks of light danced across the chamber, filling the air like stars in a stormy sky. The pillars quivered violently and cracks spread along the walls. Aaron stood beside Liam, murmuring calm words, guiding him, sharing the rhythm of the flame. "Feel it," Aaron said. "It responds to honesty, to sacrifice, to courage." Liam closed his eyes. The energy washed over him. He could feel it bending, swirling, alive. He understood it now. The flame was not evil, not malicious. It was creation itself, wild and untamed, needing guidance and balance. Mira called out from the edge of the chamber, her voice trembling. "Commander, you can do this. Lead it." A sudden surge of energy pushed against him like a storm. He staggered, but he held firm. The air seemed to vibrate with a voice that was not a voice, a sound felt more than heard. It whispered through him, asking, demanding, calling him to surrender. Liam's chest burned. He realized the truth. The flame would only return to its prison if a willing heart gave itself entirely. No machine, no tool, no force could seal it, only he could. He looked at Aaron. I understand now, I have to stay." Aaron's expression was calm, almost proud. "Yes, one willing heart is enough. Humanity has courage, but it must be proven in the face of the impossible." Mira ran to him, tears streaming down her face. "No, Liam. There has to be another way. You can't." Liam placed a hand on hers. "Listen to me. If I fail, everyone dies. If I do this, I save millions. Humanity survives." She sobbed, gripping his hand tightly. "You don't have to do it alone." He shook his head, smiling faintly through the fear. "I'm not alone. Aaron is here. You all are here. But this is something only I can do." Aaron stepped forward. "Then it is done. Focus your heart. Be the flame's guide." Liam took a deep breath, closing his eyes. He placed both hands on the glowing edge of the platform. The energy surged violently, wrapping around him, as if trying to swallow him whole. But he did not pull away. He let the flame flow through him, felt its hunger, its immense power, and he met it with courage and clarity. The chamber shook violently. Ice cracked, falling from the ceiling like heavy snow. Sparks and glowing particles swirled around them in a storm of light. The energy tried to resist him, pushed at him with every pulse. But Liam's will was steady. "Now!" Aaron shouted. Liam pushed every thought, every hope, every ounce of courage into the flame. It roared in response, thrashing and surging like a living beast. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, it began to bend, to respond, to follow his guidance. The pulsing light became smoother, more controlled. The shaking slowed. Mira watched in awe. The instruments began to stabilize. The cracks in the walls began to glow less brightly. For the first time, the chamber felt like it was listening, not resisting. Liam's heart pounded with every pulse of energy. He could feel the flame flowing through him, immense, alive, and responsive. "You're doing it," Aaron said softly. "The balance returns." The blue-white glow intensified for a moment, then began to shrink, drawing inward. Liam could feel the pull, the flame returning to its prison. But it demanded one final act: complete trust and surrender. He took a deep breath, his eyes shining with resolve. "I am yours," he whispered. "Take me with you, but spare the world." The energy surged one last time, wrapping him completely. He felt himself lift slightly from the platform, his body weightless. Sparks of blue fire danced along his skin, and the roar of the flame filled his mind. But there was no fear, only understanding, clarity, and purpose. The chamber vibrated violently. Aaron's voice rang in his mind. "Courage, Liam. The flame obeys the willing. Guide it fully." With one final push, Liam let his heart flow entirely into the energy. The chamber shuddered, the pillars cracked, and the glowing blue light condensed into the platform. The roar of the flame faded into a soft hum. The energy flowed into Liam and he felt it lock into place. The prison ceiling. Then, silence. The chamber was still. The glowing pillars dimmed, leaving only a faint shimmer. The air was cold, but stable. The hum of the planet's heartbeat was gentle now. Mira ran forward, nearly falling to her knees beside him. "Liam, are you all right?" But he did not move. The platform was empty. The blue glow had faded completely. The energy was gone. Aaron knelt beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "He has given himself entirely." Liam's courage guided the flame back to its prison. "He is part of the chamber now." Mira's tears flowed freely. "No, he can't be gone." Aaron nodded solemnly. "He is safe in a way. His life gave the universe a chance. Humanity survives because of his sacrifice." The rest of the team gathered slowly. Some wept silently. Others bowed their heads, understanding the magnitude of what had happened. Finally, Aaron stood and looked toward the entrance of the chamber. "The flame sleeps again. The balance is restored. But remember this: courage and sacrifice are what allow life to endure. Humanity has proven it is worthy." Mira knelt beside the platform, touching the cold surface where Liam had stood. He saved us all," she whispered. Aaron's eyes glimmered with faint light. "And humanity will remember him. His courage is now part of the stars themselves. Every life he protected will carry his legacy." The chamber walls shivered, softly, the faint blue glow returning for a brief moment as if acknowledging Liam's sacrifice. Then it faded completely, leaving only the frozen silence of Nares. The team left the chamber slowly, their steps heavy, but their hearts filled with respect and awe. The tunnels that had been dangerous before now seemed calm, peaceful, as if the planet itself was breathing gently. Outside, the wind still howled across the plains, but it felt different, less hostile, less empty. The sky glowed faintly with auroras, the planet's response to the restored balance. Mira stood on the platform outside the base, looking out at the endless snow. She thought of Liam, brave and determined, who had given everything to save not just them but humanity itself. She felt sorrow, but also a sense of hope. Courage and sacrifice had changed the fate of worlds, and that truth would endure. Aaron stepped beside her, silent and calm. He knew what was required. Few do. But humanity is not ordinary. It is capable of greatness beyond reckoning. Mira nodded, finally understanding. Yes, humanity can be amazing. Aaron's gaze moved toward the frozen horizon. And someday perhaps humanity will walk among the stars, carrying the courage of those who came before. Liam's choice is proof that even in the coldest, darkest places light can endure. The wind of Naris whistled through the air, carrying a faint hum, a heartbeat from deep within the planet. The flame slept again, sealed by the courage of one human heart. And the universe, vast and dangerous, continued on, forever changed by the bravery of humanity. Mira stood alone for a moment, looking toward the endless snow. She whispered quietly, almost to herself, "Thank you, Liam, for showing us what it truly means to be human." And somewhere deep beneath the frozen world, in the silent heart of the chamber, the flame remained contained, waiting as all great powers must, for the next time the universe would need courage again. The end.